The movie starts with a guy named Jason Bourne and his girlfriend Marie Kreutz living in Goa, India. They're hiding from some bad people who wanted to hurt them before. Jason used to work for the CIA, but forgot a lot of things because of a mission that went wrong. He writes down what he remembers in a notebook. Now, over in Berlin, there's a CIA agent named Pamela Landy. She's on a secret mission to get important files about a Russian politician named Nevsky who got killed a long time ago. But during a mission, they didn't notice that a sneaky person got inside the building. This person set up a bomb and made a big explosion. The bad guy took the important papers and ran away. Pamela and her team were shocked and lost both their friends and the important files they wanted. On the other side, there's another mysterious man named Kirill. He's a Russian police officer, but he also works as a professional killer. He meets his boss, Yuri Gretkov, who runs an oil company in Germany. Kirill gives Yuri the files he stole. Sometime later in India, Jason was at the beach, and he wanted to go home. But then he saw Kirill, a guy he didn't know, and got suspicious. He hurried to his car and picked up Marie, who was shopping at the market. They tried to leave, but Kirill started following them in his car. On the way, Jason decided to switch seats with Marie so he could get ready to defend themselves. But Kirill stopped and set up his sniper rifle, thinking Jason was still driving. He didn't know it was Marie driving. When they got on a bridge, Kirill shot the car, and it hit Marie in the head. The car swerved, crashed, and fell into a river. Jason tried to save her, but sadly, she didn't make it. Jason had to leave her and swim to the surface to save himself. After Jason disappeared, Kirill went back to Germany to tell Yuri about Jason's supposed death. Yuri paid Kirill some money, and Kirill left in a hurry. In India, Jason was really sad after losing Marie. He looked at a special photo of them together. Feeling determined to get revenge for her, he packed his things and left the country. At the same time, Pamela's team was investigating fingerprints from their failed mission. They figured out that the prints belonged to Jason. So, Pamela went to talk to Ward, who used to be in charge of the Tradestone group, to ask about Jason. But Ward said the group had disbanded years ago, and he didn't know where Jason was or how he was doing. Meanwhile, Jason now in Italy, going through immigration at the airport. The system flagged him as someone the CIA was looking for, and he was taken into custody. They took him to a room and started asking him questions. But when Jason heard that the CIA was after him, he surprised everyone by attacking the immigration officers. It was a deliberate move on his part. He wanted to get caught so he could figure out who was chasing him. While he was at it, he managed to tap into one of the officers' phones and learned that Pamela was the one leading the hunt. After finding out, he quickly headed to Germany to meet someone. The next day, Ward was spotted picking up Nikki Parsons, who used to work closely with Conklin. They knew a lot about the case they had worked on together. After some chatting, Ward and Nikki flew to Germany to assist with the CIA's investigation that Pamela and her team were handling. In Munich, a guy named Jarda, who used to be part of the Treadstone operation, returned home one day. To his surprise, Jason was already in his house, pointing a gun at him. Jason wanted to know why the Treadstone group kept chasing him and even killed his girlfriend. Jarda explained that the group had disbanded a long time ago, but Jason didn't completely trust him. He started checking Jarda's things to be sure, and that's when Jarda suddenly attacked him. There was a struggle, and Jason accidentally stabbed Jarda with a knife. At the same time, the police who knew Jason's whereabouts arrived at Jarda's house. Jason quickly broke a gas pipe and placed a magazine on a hot toaster, causing an explosion in the house as he made his escape. Since he didn't get the information he needed from Jarda, Jason decided to track down Pamela in Berlin. He started by calling hotels in the city one by one to find out where she was staying. Once he located the hotel, he went there and pretended to be Pamela's brother, asking the receptionist to get in touch with her. Jason even saw Pamela's room number on the receptionist's phone. He decided to wait for her to come out of the hotel and followed her to the CIA headquarters in Berlin. Pamela and her team came up with a plan to capture Jason alive. While they were busy strategizing, Jason headed to the roof of a building across from where Pamela's team was meeting. He set up his sniper gear and took aim at Pamela from a distance. He decided to call Pamela to find out why the CIA was after him. She explained that it was because of his past, specifically his involvement in the killing of Nevsky and his wife in Berlin. This triggered memories of his time in Treadstone when he worked with Nikki. Driven by these memories, Jason asked Pamela to arrange a meeting with Nikki so he could learn more about his past. He turned off his phone, abandoning his plan to shoot Pamela, and left the rooftop. Later on, Pamela and her team devised a plan for Nikki to meet Jason at a specific location to capture him alive. On the day of the meeting, Nikki was in an area where Pamela's team had set up protection from a nearby rooftop. Jason was aware of their plan, so he took advantage of a demonstration that was happening nearby. This allowed him to approach and take Nikki without Pamela's team noticing. Before long, Pamela lost track of Jason, who had taken Nikki to an underground area, questioned her about why the CIA was hunting him. Nikki revealed that Jason had killed several CIA teams 2 weeks ago during an operation involving secret files related to the Nesky murder case. This shocked Jason, and he told himself not to do such things. However, upon hearing the name Nesky, he had a flood of memories from his past, prompting him to leave Nikki behind. Meanwhile, Ward and one of Pamela's team members, Tom, secretly headed to the place where they found Jason's fingerprints. Tom noticed some unusual things and suspected that Jason might have been set up by someone. Upon hearing this, Ward attacked Tom suddenly, causing his death, as if he didn't want this information to get out. Switching over to Jason, he was on a quest to uncover information about Nesky. He relied on his fragmented memories of how Nesky and his wife were killed in a hotel years ago. To confirm his suspicions, Jason went to the same hotel room where the murder had taken place. As he stood there, his memories started coming back, and he realized that he had been the one responsible for the murder of the Russian official and his wife, following orders from Conklin. Not much time passed before the hotel staff discovered Jason's true identity as a CIA fugitive. They immediately alerted the authorities, leading to the hotel being surrounded by the police in an attempt to apprehend him. Jason realized that his location was no longer a secret, so he tried to escape through a pipe on the building's exterior, aiming to reach the rooftop and find a safer way out. Unfortunately, while on his way, a vigilant policeman recognized Jason. This forced him to sprint away to avoid being caught and attempt to outsmart the officer at a train station. Eventually, he managed to board a train and evade the pursuing police. On the flip side, Pamela and her team were busy examining the hotel room where Nesky and his wife had stayed before they were killed by the Treadstone operatives. Simultaneously, in another hotel room, Ward got in touch with Yuri to break the surprising news that Jason was still alive. To their shock, it turned out they were the masterminds behind Nesky's murder. Their motive was to gain control over oil mining in Russia, as they hadn't obtained Nesky's permission. Ward, who held a high position in the CIA, instructed Conklin to carry out Nesky's execution with Jason's help, back when Jason still had his memory intact. After their call ended, Ward received an unexpected visit from Jason, who had covertly recorded all their conversations with Yuri. Without resorting to violence, Jason, armed with this incriminating evidence, went on a mission to deliver it to Pamela. He aimed to prove that he had been framed by Ward. Pamela, upon listening to the recordings, hurried to meet Ward in his hotel room, armed with undeniable proof. Ward couldn't deny the truth, and not wanting to face disgrace before his country, he made the shocking decision to do the unthinkable. A few days later in Russia, Yuri once again ordered Kirill to eliminate the still-living Jason. Without wasting any time, Yuri rushed to his police car parked in the basement and began his hunt for Jason, who he knew was somewhere in Russia. Shifting to Jason's perspective, he was in Russia, trying to escape the relentless pursuit by the CIA, while also searching for Nesky's daughter. Along the way, he sensed someone tailing him and attempted to shake off his pursuer, Kirill. When Kirill cornered him on a bridge, he took a shot at Jason, hitting him but not incapacitating him. As Kirill prepared to fire again, several police officers intervened, trying to arrest Kirill for recklessly wielding a firearm in public. Jason seized this opportunity to make a quick escape and find a secure hiding spot. Turning to Kirill, who was still in police custody, he eventually explained that he was a police officer, providing proof of his membership in the Russian police and securing his release. Meanwhile, Jason, who had bought a bottle of alcohol to clean his wound, approached a taxi, but the driver refused him. Frustrated, Jason lashed out at the taxi driver and then forced his way into the taxi while tending to his wound with the alcohol he had. As they drove on, Kirill spotted his target and began pursuing Jason. When the two of them entered a tunnel, Kirill attempted to corner Jason's car and even fired shots at it. Jason, in a desperate bid to escape, caused Kirill's car to crash. He then got out of the car to check on the injured Kirill. Just as he was about to finish off the assassin before him, Jason recalled his promise to Marie that he would not kill anyone again. This led him to abandon his intention and leave the scene to continue his search for Nevsky's daughter. Meanwhile, Yuri was finally apprehended by the CIA under Pamela's orders. On a quiet street, a girl named Irina, who happened to be Nevsky's daughter, was making her way home. Upon arriving home, she was startled to find Jason waiting for her. Seeing a stranger in her residence frightened her, but Jason reassured her and asked her to sit on the sofa. He proceeded to recount the story of her parents' deaths, which had been falsely reported as suicide, when in reality, he had been the one responsible for their deaths. Before departing, Jason apologized to Irina, who struggled to come to terms with the shocking revelations she had just heard. Towards the end of the movie, Jason reached out to Pamela to inquire about the CIA's mission against him. She informed him that the case had been closed and expressed gratitude for the recorded evidence he provided of the conversation between Ward and Yuri. Just before ending the call, Pamela revealed Jason's true identity, which was David Webb. The moral lesson we can learn from this story is the importance of finding peaceful solutions to conflicts.